Okay, I'm recording.
You're recording? Thank goodness we're sailing instead of motoring.
You're being very cringy.
Okay. Action.
Nee?
Sailing in the harbour. We're doing the wind's 11 knots. We're cruising at 2 knots. It's a nor'easter and we're sort of feeding into the wind.
Sailing Serenade, episode 12.
We are getting ever so close now to starting our cruising lifestyle. Waddy has brought it to my attention that I seem to do everything regarding the boat's handling with the help of Serenade's autopilot. So I am trying to be a passenger on Serenade and allow the girls to do all the deck work.
You pulled it down, you wanted it down. You said you had to click it on that pole. Okay.
Port side, bit to the port, 10 degrees port. Hey, do you need the sail drop? Okay, drop the sail more.
Stephanie starts to feel my pain and realise my frustration as she starts to argue with her mother on how to pack the sail. Georgia seems to do nothing, so we've nominated her to be camera woman, and should anything drastically happen, she's taking photos. The anchor winch, which is free falling, has been slipping and the plates no doubt need cleaning. Nevertheless, I always use a snubber or devil's claw to take the strain off the gypsy. The fear of dragging anchor is always on my mind, and when these super yachts come behind me, it just simply makes me nervous. The following weekend forecast to be strong winds. I wanted the girls to experience it and see how they handled it. I asked my father to join us this weekend to help. The wind was blowing around 25 knots from the south, and Serenade was cruising at a nice 6 knots. I was really enjoying myself. I have planned to go outside the heads so that the girls can really experience what the rough weather would be like when we're out sailing and not so close to a port. The sea conditions were even calmer outside the heads than they were inside the harbour, but this was due to the wind drop, but that was going to change. It was going to pick up again and we were going to be unprepared. I had already put a second reef in the mainsail, and I really wanted to fly my favourite sail of all, the staysail. wonderful day sailing. I couldn't ask for more. Stephanie and Waddy were at the bow of the boat enjoying themselves. Opa was steering Serenade. Not sure where Georgia was. I had the camera and I thought to myself, this is not the rough conditions that I wanted them to experience. But I spoke too soon. Waddy and I were both drenched and cold. The wind picked up to 25 knots with gusts up to 35 knots. We had a few things break up on deck which Waddy and I attended to, and I know that these conditions to an old salty would be a walk in the park, but for this amateur crew it was a good experience.
The world is, put the water with the salt in it.
And Opa. Say hi.
Hi! Beautiful! How nice! How nice to be on board of Serenade!
So darling, after your experience from yesterday with 26 knot winds, which isn't a great lot, and the way the boat handled, what are your thoughts on our adventure? The cord on the port side of the Lazy Jack had snapped, which made it very difficult when dropping the sail. Apart from the three main shrouds on either side of the main mast, Serenade has a fourth which can be tightened manually. On the port side, this shroud snapped, but thankfully it was just a D-shackle that gave way. I hope I fasten it securely. How's your insurance? Come on up.
I cancel it.
Oh. Are you cooking breakfast? You haven't cooked breakfast yet. We'll probably have to do this after breakfast just in case something happens. The Lazy Jack cord and the shroud on the port sides were an easy fix, but of course everything comes in threes, and the third thing was not going to be so easy. While tacking, the staysail boom swung with enough force to reveal an underlying problem. Thankfully, it's not as bad as it looks, although the anchor winch definitely needs to be serviced. Now I've got to saw back.
It's called old, darling.
Oh, if I was only a younger man.
Let me pull you off.
Pull me off or pull me up?
Both.
The anchor winch was working fine, as it usually does, but the bracket holding the gearbox underneath was looking worse for wear and tear. It had to be replaced. Sometimes it really comes down to who you know. I sent this away to just get the nuts loosened, but in the end I had my mate rebuild the motor and got a new gearbox, all for under $1,000. Please subscribe, share, like, and of course, thanks for watching.